So this is first in a series of videos of how to use Google Classroom effectively for your students. So this first video focuses on creating classrooms and adding students. You may have a provision service that already does this. So if so, feel free to look at the next video. So what I've done is created like a dummy student teacher account, and I've also got a dummy student account. You can actually see the student is already a member of a few classrooms there, but I'll switch over to the teacher first of all. So as a new teacher, new to Google Classroom, you need to collect Classroom from here. You can also join classes as a student as well. But for this purposes, I'm just going to look at creating a class. So you create a class, and I'm going to create a computer science class for year 12. And you might want to put like a certain section there, put the subject there as well, and room there. It's up to you. I tend to find putting the full name of the class there and any sort of codes as well. It's really careful to put names that mean a lot to you and the students. So, for example, don't put like if your form is 8U, don't name all your class. If the class is named 8U, don't call the classroom just 8U, because the student in 8U for their geography, history, RE, PE, D&T, ICT subjects, they will just see 8U, 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 and get really confused then. So I tend to say, give it a name. Maybe you might want to say, if your group is 12A Computer Science, Mr. Mitchell, and call your classroom like that, because then the students know exactly what the classroom is for. So click Create. It'll take a few seconds to do this, and then your classroom will be there. And you've got the tutorials there as well. Let's help with that. Now, depending on the age of your class, at the moment the settings are that students can actually post in here and write messages, and I'll show you that in a second actually. So one of the things we want to do is turn that feature off. I'm going to add my dummy student account into that. At the moment, if you go to people along here, you can see there are no students in here, but there is a class code that you can share. So I find this one of the easiest ways to share classrooms, and if you get students trained on this, if you just go to join class, they can paste the class code and click join. Now it'll take a few seconds, and you'll see then they can now see the classroom. So that's the teacher. They just refresh this page. As a teacher now, I can see that one of my students is there in the class. I'm going to show you how to remove a student as well in case a student's got the code accidentally. So you just tick it, remove, and remove a student. And the reason I'm going to do this is there is another way to add students as well. So if I just go back to my dashboard, you'll see the class has gone from there. So this student, I'm going to add the other way, which is to add from here and type the student's email address in. As you start typing the email address in, you'll see even halfway through typing it, it'll come up with the autocomplete. So I'm going to pick my test student here. You can put multiple student email addresses in here as well. So if you wanted to invite a bulk of students, as long as you have their email addresses separated by commas or on separate lines out of a spreadsheet, paste it into here, you can then click invite and it will bring them back in. When you invite a student this way, they don't automatically put in the class. Instead, the student will see this, which is computer science, and they'll get an option to join or decline. You can re-invite students if they click decline. So in this case, I'm going to join it anyway. And you'll see at the moment it's invited, but once the student has clicked accept, the student is there. Now, from my student point of view, student has just written onto this, and they can post stuff as well. From a teacher point of view, that goes to everyone in the class there. So my student has just written, "Hi guys, I'm a student" on there. You might want that and might want the class to all comment and discuss on it, or you might not. It depends on the maturity of your class and whether or not they use it. I tend to find I have this switched on for older classes so they can contribute with resources. For younger classes, I tend to switch it off. The way to change that setting, if you go to the cog here on the top right side, there's an option here called Show Students Can Post or Comment. If you change it to only teachers, they can only post or comment. Also, once your students have added, if you want to disable the class code, you can do as well. There's a couple of other options here on condensed notifications or show the attachments. It's up to you how you want it to be displayed. You can change the settings there as well. I'll go through marking in a later video. So I save that and I can just delete the student's comment because I don't want to do that. And I can say, welcome to the Year 12 Computer Science Google Classroom. Post it. And now as a student, if I refresh it, you'll see the stream's been updated. I show it. Don't know why it's coming up with a new user, but that's a teacher, and that should be the teacher name anyway. Welcome to Year 12 Computer Science Google Classroom. And that's how to set up a classroom ready for teaching.